Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. You walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
I know, you know what, my mom, when I was growing up, she's so lucky I didn't know about bells. That I just have a thing for them because they remind me that the truth has a ring to it. Can I get an amen? Just one. There's one. Good morning, 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 good morning. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren, and it is Tuesday. Man, I'm excited about today, but I have an appointment outside of the studio, outside of the office today. And you know how that can be. You gotta leave and drive. Remember the days when we used to actually get in the car and drive to work? No more. Nope, not gonna happen. So anyway, happy Tuesday to you. It is we're officially halfway through the month of April already. Good googly moogly. It is moving quickly, yes. But we're moving right along with it. Good morning to you. Where are you at in the world? Put it in the comments section. So excited to be here with you today. A lot of rain, thunderstorms, a lot of that stuff. April showers bring May flowers. That's what they used to say. It's still the case here in the Chicagoland area. If you are anywhere around the Charlotte, North Carolina area next week, I'd like to say hello. I'll be there presenting on what day is it? Friday. I'll be presenting on, that was my my adopted mom's birthday, April 25th. How interesting. And the venue that I'll be speaking at is on my mother's maiden name street's name. So I think they're both there with me next week. So a couple of my coaching clients, I'll be seeing Tracy Randolph. You might remember her. She's the host of Fem Talk and also the Whole Living Show. She'll be there. And Martha Katawi also. So if you're in the area, we'd love to hang with you, have a cup of coffee, just say hello. Let us know. What else? Let me look over here. Do we have anything else to? Oh, yes, definitely. On the screen now, there will be no webinar this Wednesday because we had the 2-weeker with Chris Driscoll. We're going to take a week off, and we will be back actually next Wednesday. Okay, so if you want to get over to the Mindset Revolution, the community, and get in, please go over and sign up there. Scan that code. We're going to pop it. Do we have it ready to go up there? We're going to pop it upstairs for you later in the broadcast. What else do we have there? Let's see here. Oh, we have this Mindset Revolution. Thunder and lightning, just what's happening outside right now here in Chicago. But Mindset Revolution is there for you. It's a new community. Get over and say hi. Take a look at all the offerings in there. We'll put the link inside the chat for you before the end of today's broadcast. Who is here today? You guys know, Dr. Michelle Arhat. Should we play the Guess the Middle Name? Did we do that last time she was here? Michelle Renee, Michelle Reba, Michelle. That's hard. Michelle. Okay, we're going to play because it's not so easy. We'll get her in here, and then we'll see how many people want to play the game. I'll give away a book bundle, perhaps a gift card. You guys can decide. Michelle R. Rutabaga. I'm kidding. Anyway, Dr. Michelle is here. She is a professional relationship coach, a speaker, an author, an entrepreneur. She has leadership degrees. She has an MBA, master's in teaching with technology. I didn't know that. You're a techie? Guess who I'm calling when I can't find my wallpaper on my phone? I need some space, some disk space on my computer. Y'all know how that stuff is. Right. Wow, I didn't know that. She has a doctorate in spiritual counseling and philosophy. She earned an honorary doctorate in business and philosophy in 2022. That's where we met. And she is the #1 relationship coach of the year, awarded by the Yahoo Financial. By Yahoo Financial. And she also has the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, awarded in 2022, and the Black Woman of Excellence Award. You've seen her all over the place. CBS, NBC, Fox, and just all over. And you're seeing her here today on Bathrobe Moments. She was recently, I'm so jealous because our good friend Margaret is here right now Margaret was in Paris. No, she's going to Paris. She's in Italy right now. And I think Dr. Michelle and her travel companions were in Paris first, then Italy. where Margaret's doing it in reverse. We're going to find out. I haven't been to either one of them, so I hope to. I hope to. Have you been to Europe? Put it in the comments. What was your favorite place to visit? So anyway, let's get Dr. Michelle in here. She's been here before, but we still want to put some hearts on the screen because it's our way of saying, ooh, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You guys, now's the time. It's our way of saying welcome, and it's a virtual standing ovation. Get on your feet as we welcome Dr. Michelle. She's coming down the hallway right now. Hello, Dr. Michelle. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good.
I am too. When did you get back from your
About
trip?
three weeks ago.
Didn't tell nobody you were going.
I
How long did it
was-
take to put that trip together?
Oh, wow. Well, for me, it was a little bit different because I couldn't just go straight to Paris. I couldn't just be on the plane that long with everything that was going on. So
Okay.
I had to go to New York. I stayed in New York for a day and then flew into Paris. But because I had my mom with me,
Your mom.
it was a yes,
Everyone
yes.
thought that was your twin sister. We love Michelle's mom, y'all.
Yeah, it was a little bit more difficult because I felt like I was still taking care, of course, of her and making sure she was good. So it was a little bit more difficult to kind of put everything together. Um, but because I am just a planner anyways,
Yeah.
that helped. Yeah. So we went to Paris, went to London, and then to Venice. So
I'm jealous. Well, hold on. I'm trying to not be jealous. So I'm spraying some frequency spray so that I can stay totally inside of what I need to. That is a real thing. Did you know this existed? It's
no, I didn't know. I need that.
it's awesome. I play frequency music back there, but it's on mute, but I believe it still emotes. And then this is my
Yeah.
sound source, one of the new sponsors we have, Frequency Formulations. And this particular spray is a meditation spray, 528 hertz, infused with the frequency of love, bringing balance and harmony to the body. And it just smells great. I love it.
Oh, you have to send me the link.
I will. I will. But I'll do better than that. I'll send you one of the bottles they sent me.
Oh,
And
thank
you can try.
you.
There you go. Um, you guys might remember last time we had Dr. Michelle here. She was presenting her newest work at the time, which was the Self Files for Teens, which I had a copy of, but I gave it to one of the teens in my family. Hurry up, sorry. And they're like, somebody wrote in it already. I said, so take it and you read it, but I need it back, which reminds me. And then this, the Self Files Littles book for kids. Talk about it. I'm gonna dip out for a second and let you say hello personally. It's a thing I do here. And then pour out what's, just speak from your heart. What's on your heart today? And that's usually what leads us down the path. And we've got some pictures and things, a little footage to show from your recent trip to Europe. And then catch up and find out what's new and exciting in the world of Dr. M.R. Hanna. I just put that together, that little M.R. instead of Michelle R. Oh, Michelle. Dang, that's a hard one. R. Are you sure your middle name starts with an R? Michelle. Okay. I'm gonna dip out, Google some names, and come back. Take it away. Just share with everybody what's on your spirit today, and then I'll come back. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All you take it away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Arhana, and I'm so excited to be here today. I love Dr. Lauren. He's so amazing. What I have been thinking about early this morning since I got up was access denied and access granted. Now, what I mean by that is that we need to think about who has access in our lives, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and intellectually. And then when you think about those people, maybe you have them in the wrong category, or maybe you need to deny access altogether. Sometimes we give people too much space in our minds and our heart to rent. And sometimes we have given them a whole home in our mind and our heart, and they're not supposed to be there. And if we do not deny access to in the areas that we need to, then we don't align ourselves with access granted. So today I want you to think about all of the people, the projects, and what needs to be denied access into your life or into the area that they're in. Just because someone is so wonderful intellectually doesn't mean that maybe they should have access to you emotionally. So think about that this morning. And I just would love for you to go on your access denied, access granted journey.
I know that's right. Thank you for that. Now, I don't know if I probably was. I know I was drinking coffee because I always drink coffee on the show, but I don't know if I was eating breakfast back then, last time you were here, but I do now. Because I've since January transformed, 38 pounds gone because of this, the metabolic balance diet
Mhm.
with my coach, Dr. Jane, and I share my breakfast. So today, you guys, I'm having one avocado, one apple, one rye crisp cracker, and one banana. That's what I'm having today for my metabolic. Your blood work determines what you eat. And boy,
Mhm.
I have had no inhalers. I haven't used any since the second or third day. No, I don't have to use my CBD on these arthritic hands. I rebuke it. And, because fingers were locking up and stuff. And now I love it. So anyway, that's what I'm having. So I'm going to be nibbling because you have to eat it within an hour. Okay. So you have to eat it and you take a bite of your protein first. Hey, what's the protein? I guess it's this, the avocado. Okay. So let's get started with the self vows. Some people here may not be aware with that. When did you start it? Why did you start it? And what have you done with it? Talk about that.
Okay, so the self vows was absolutely a gift to me. I wasn't planning on sharing it with the world because it was really a special gift to me. And it came at a time where actually I just was asking a question in regards to couples, is that there had to be something else other than finance, sex, blended families, why people come into my office or why they're even considering divorce or separation. And the weeks went by, months went by, and then almost at a year, I was just so frustrated. I did what I should have did in the beginning. I just let it go, and I just said, God, you give me the clarity on it when you want me to know it. And literally, like the next day, 24 hours, I woke up and I sat up straight in my bed and I knew what it was. It was that individuals had not taken their own self vows. So if you think about the traditional vows that we take to have and to hold from this day forward, for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, in
Mm,
sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, to death, and we would say to us part, but to death do I part, as
mm,
long as
mm.
I shall live. So when you think about those vows and you start to ask yourself those questions in the way that I really uniquely broken every vow down, you realize that you have not even done that for yourself, but you're signing up to basically give that and extend that to someone else for a lifetime when you haven't even step one, just to give those vows to yourself. So it's a whole process. It's a program. It is a program that I take myself literally 2 to 3 times a year because the self vows, they evolve. As you evolve, they evolve. As you grow, the self vows grows in your life. So it never gets old. You'll be taking them until you take your last breath. So that's why they're such a beautiful, beautiful gift.
I love it. I fell in love with it when I first was introduced to it,
Mhm.
when we initially met. And I just think it's so important. I think it's a brilliant thing. Definitely an anointing. coming through you. That's a gift. That really is. Now, because I literally know in my own journey, when I go back over, rolling that beautiful bean footage, if you will, of all the things in my journey that have gone south, that have gone wrong, that have, in pretty much all of the cases, if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, it was due to me breaking my covenants with myself,
Mhm,
saying one thing,
mhm,
doing another. And it
mhm.
becomes very easy for us, I believe, um, to lie to others, whether we are intentionally doing or not, because we first have lied to ourselves. That's the best way to.
Yes, absolutely,
I
absolutely.
love that. And then you moved it, it's gone, it's like spread out like, like a nice, like a tie dye, from one thing. You open up the shirt and it's like, look at all these beautiful colors. You have the teens, you have the little ones. So talk about that, especially like the little ones, because little ones are little ones. They're like, what age group is this book designed for?
I would say really I have to say 2 now because my grandbaby, he loves it.
I knew you was
So
gonna
I
bring
would
him.
say like and it was written because of him. That's where the inspiration came from. So I would say from about 2 to 7 or 8,
Amari.
that book can be used for, yes.
So little Amari, he's almost 2 already.
He's 2. He actually turned 2 in December. So yeah.
Wow. I
He's about
remember
to
when
be
he
two
was
and a
born.
half.
Wow. Wow. So, okay. But wait. Okay, we're coming back to the vows. I want to go back to the trip because I want to talk about your mom. Was this
Mhm.
your mom's? How many times has she been to Europe before?
She's never been to Europe, and neither have I. And what's so interesting is when the pandemic happened, my mother just swore that she didn't want to do any international traveling. She said she didn't care if she ever went out of the country. So, I hope that she would change her mind, but it didn't look too likely that she was going to change her mind. But then, when so many different events happen, she says, there's no way that I could not go to hear my daughter speak in Paris. And so I said, "Are you serious? You're going to come?" And she says, "Yes, I'm going." And so that is how that happened. So it was an amazing, amazing journey to take that with the woman that has birthed you. So
I just love her. We're gonna
yeah.
see her inside one of these clips in a minute. Now, you said you were speaking. Now, you speak all over. You've been your public speaking career spans over 15 years.
Mhm.
So, and this is your first time speaking internationally?
Yes, this is my first time speaking
Congratulations.
internationally.
Now, tell us about that event. How'd you get there? What was it about?
So
How
it
was
was
it?
great. It was women's leadership. I spoke on the first day. I'm so glad that I wasn't the first one up. I needed a moment to just kind of breathe a little
Mhm.
bit. But I think I was like the third speaker that morning. And it was beautiful because Access Denied, Access Granted is my new book. I really didn't plan on releasing that book for like another 2 years. And so when things just kind of started to happen in my life, I knew that I needed to release the book. It was so timely. And so I was speaking about my new book, but I really did not plan to actually incorporate my personal testimony. But I'm so glad that I did because even though it was just the most vulnerable, the most transparent in that moment. Not that wasn't going to be transparent. I just wasn't. You know what? I didn't want to go that deep. I didn't want to really talk about it. What had transpired, what had happened, because it's still so raw. But I'm
Oh,
so glad that I did because there were people there in the audience that just needed to hear that. There was one lady that was sitting in the front row that had just been diagnosed with breast cancer, and she needed to hear my testimony. She needed to hear just being in the thick of something, and this is what resilience looks like. So it was beautiful. And I really did not think that my book was going to, like, I was going to have it in my hands, because it was down to the wire. And literally 2 days before the trip, the box came and there was the book. So it was a very amazing experience. And I will tell you this, I've been to a lot of conferences, but there was something so special about that conference. It was so spiritual. It was so much love and appreciation, and so many phenomenal women, with just amazing stories. And it was just very intriguing. So I had a beautiful time. And of course, the pastries. Listen,
Right?
I don't usually like at lunch and, breakfast, but I don't usually like eat the entire whatever it is, whatever sweet
Mm,
it is.
I do.
I was so mad when I finished with it. I was like, no,
Why
I
am I
want
doing right?
more.
I was just talking
It
about that yesterday on the show.
it was it was just, oh my gosh. I've never tasted pastries like that. It was just absolutely amazing. So,
Was
yeah.
that in Paris?
Yes, it was
Yes.
in Paris.
That's the
And
reason.
I don't know if you watched the show Emily in Paris. So I watched all 4 seasons before I left, and so I ended up going to the the cafe that she goes to and that has these chocolate croissants. I have never in my life tasted a chocolate croissant like that. Every bite, I felt like it was just this beautiful orgasm happening in my mouth. Can I say that? Yeah, well,
Good.
that's what
Too
it
late
was.
now. Okay, there. Well, wait. There you go. Oh my God. Oh well. Oh, and you said it with Charles Maddox here. Oh Lord. Don't get him started. I had to put him out yesterday. I did. He was in here. I had to put him out. I literally put him out. Didn't I, y'all? That's so funny. We plan on going. My husband's been there a couple times, and we're planning on going in the next couple years. We'll go. So I will definitely get all your tips about where to go and what to check
Yeah,
out. Now, I do
yes.
want to ask you. I want about um access granted, access denied. Now, you said you had not planned on being so vulnerable about the testimonial. Is there anything about that that you feel comfortable sharing today? Because I know you guys like me are going, I wonder what that was. Are you okay sharing just a little tad of that with us today? Or
Yes. Yes. Yes.
oh, okay,
I am now. I can really talk about it now. So basically in November, of all places, it was in my spirit. You need to go to Utah. I've never been to Utah, but I knew I needed to go to Utah. And for me, when I need to write, it's like sometimes it's so spiritual. It's like it's in me and I have to get it out. Like I can't sleep. I just have to get it out. I'm literally like just writing, writing. Sometimes I don't even really know what I'm writing. I'm just getting it out. So I went to Utah and I wrote the book in 3 days. And when I say it poured out of me, it poured out of me. I felt every emotion possible. I felt even emotions I didn't even think I had. So I come back home. And a couple of weeks later, I'm supposed to be in Atlanta for a conference. Ironically, it was the I Fought for Her conference. So I was really looking forward to going. But I was feeling something that was unusual. I know my body. So I was feeling something that was unusual. And I have pudendal neuralgia. So I knew it wasn't nerve pain, but it was something that almost would mimic maybe kind of a bladder infection, or maybe you know how sometimes you get a bite and you might be allergic to it and there's just that burning itching kind of sensation. That's kind of what it felt like. um, I wasn't really alarmed, but I did know that something was going on. I went to the doctor. He took a look and he said, Michelle, we need to do a biopsy. So I thought, okay, that's fine. I'll do it when I get back because I'm leaving in a couple of days, going to Atlanta. And he said, I don't think we can wait to when you can come back. And I says, well, it's just a biopsy. It's not like I haven't had those before. So then he started to just evaluate a little bit more. And he says, actually, we need to do about 3 biopsies. So at that point, I'm just wanting to get up because I don't want him to keep finding stuff and saying I
Right.
need more biopsies, right?
Okay.
So at that point, I did notice that he kind of scraped a little bit of the skin. So I just thought, oh, maybe he's doing some type of culture or whatever. Anyhow, they called me back in a couple of days and they said, you need to come and do the pre-op. So I was like, wow, okay, I guess we're really doing this week. Well, because of who I am, I literally was thinking I'll do the biopsies in the morning for the surgery, and I'll just catch a flight that evening and go to Atlanta. All they need to do is just give me some medication. So if I'm in some type of pain, that can subside.
Mhm.
So he looks at me when I come in and I do the pre-op. He looks at me, but then he turns his back and he says, "You're not going to be able to go to Atlanta. You're going to be in too much pain." And I thought, well, no, it's just a biopsy. You're just putting me to sleep. You're going to, take some skin and that's it. And it was just this long pause. And then he says, Michelle, it's like 99.9. You've dealt with this before based on your file. This is cancer. And I said, no, it can't be. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor, but that's like years and years. We're talking 2007.
Mm.
So 2004 was when I was, diagnosed, but 2007 was when they really honed in and I had to be my own health advocate to
Mm.
really get diagnosed.
Mm.
So I thought, this cannot be happening. I heard him, but everything in my body was resisting what he had said, almost as if I was just like, it can't be. This has to be a mistake. We'll just go and we'll do the biopsy and I won't be in that much pain. I'll still go to Atlanta. But then when I got home that night, it was just something that really just it was just so strong. It's like you cannot go to Atlanta. Just call her, the lady that was giving it, and just tell her you cannot go. You got to have
Wow.
emergency surgery. Of course she understood that. It's with me committing to something. And I feel horrible when I can't do it, even when it's my health. So, anyhow, I go through the surgery, and he was right. I came out of that surgery and I was in so much pain. I could not walk. I couldn't really feed myself. So, my mom had to take care of me.
Mm.
She had to cook for me. She had to help me walk. I couldn't even use the restroom on my own. Like,
Mm.
I couldn't even believe what was happening. Like it just all happened. For me, it's just like it's so quick. He also told me once I had woke up, he said that we hope that it hasn't spread outside the margins. So now I'm going, wait, what? I thought it was localized. You go in, you get it out. I heal for 6 weeks. And he says, well, we hope that it's not outside the margins. So I had nothing else to do but to read the book that I was now thinking about. Well, maybe I should just go ahead and send the book to editing, even if I'm not going to release it right away. And then as I read the book, I realized that that was the blueprint on how I was going to get through this journey.
Mm.
That was the reason why that strong feeling of needing to go to Utah with no distractions, that I wrote the book that quick, because in a couple of weeks I would be in this situation. So once I read the book, I said, I think I gotta release this. And in that moment, as I said that, my mom kept saying, it'll be okay. I'm praying it'll be okay. It won't be outside the margins. But it's something about intuition.
Mm.
Like I knew that it was outside the margins.
Oh.
Of course, I didn't want it to be that, but I knew that. I knew it was the truth.
Oh, I got chills.
Yeah. So my pathology report came back early. So that was like a confirmation. Like I knew it. I was bracing myself as I walked in the office,
Mm.
and he put his hand on my shoulder and he
Oh.
kind of rubbed it. And I took a deep breath. I started to get really hot. I just felt like I was going to faint. Next thing I know, I must have almost passed out, because then they gave me some water. And I was just waiting for him to say it. And he says, well, it's outside the margin. And he says, you have a rare and complex skin cancer. And in that moment, it was just like deja vu, because I have been told for now 22 years that I'm always having something rare and complex. So when I
Right.
heard those words, it shook me to my core. I mean, I literally was like, why? I didn't know that it was even coming out, but it was. I was like, why? Why do I have to have something that's always rare and complex?
Right.
Because usually when they say that, that means that they don't have any data or a whole lot of data. Then you really don't want to be a rarity in
Right.
science, right?
Right.
So he says, oh, well, you can take a picture of the diagnosis, because he knew, like, I was hearing him, but I was just, I was there, but I wasn't there.
In a fugue
And
state.
yes, absolutely. And scared. And, I knew what his next words were going to be, but I didn't want to hear that. And he says, well, we're going to have to pass you to oncology. And then that triggered me, because I was like, you're going to have to pass me, like now you can't do anything. So now you're
Right.
going to
Out of
pass
our
me to
hands.
somewhere else, right? That I don't know. I've known him for years, but that I don't know now. He says, yeah, you're going to have to go to oncology. So then I thought about, I remember when I was first diagnosed, and I remember that long walk, walking into Washington Hospital Cancer Institute in Washington, D.C. And I got myself together, my mother waiting for me to tell her that it's okay, it's good, I just have to keep healing. But then I have to tell her that's not okay. And what he was expressing to me that were possible treatments. So one was a topical chemo that literally burns the cancer cells off of the most intimate and sensitive part of a woman. I had been through that before. I can, even if I think about it, I can feel that pain that was. And I was literally grabbing the seat, like, no, 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 you know? And then he said, or radiation, but you don't really want to do that because that
Right.
can mess up your bladder.
Mm.
And then he said, or, and we hope that this doesn't happen, but a vulvectomy. Now I know what a vulvectomy is. And I thought, no, I will not have a normal life. Like, what? Like, I couldn't even wrap my head around that he was saying this.
Right.
And so now a month later, and let me tell you, every day I was dreading the just getting closer and closer to the oncology appointment. They do a colposcopy, and at that point, I just knew I needed to have like 3 more um, evaluations from other doctors' opinions. Here's the problem. There's not too many people that actually are experts in this that actually study it. So I happened to find one
Mhm.
that is in California, and she
Just happened
happens
to
to
find.
be, yeah, she happens to be in Irvine, which
Just
is only
happened.
45 minutes away from me, right?
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Right. Go
So
on.
I go to her and I feel trust automatically. I'm just comfortable with her. She's pregnant and she's saying, "Hey, we need to get you in again before I go out on maternity leave."
Okay.
But I'm feeling comfortable. So then I go to another oncologist. She's very rude. She's very mean to me.
Mm.
And I just thought, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to take this. I'm just not gonna come back, you know? And so, and it was horrible. It's horrible that sometimes doctors cannot have that bedside manner and not have empathy, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, that's my boundaries. You don't have empathy, you don't have good bedside manner, you can't be compassionate to what I'm going through, then we don't need to be in relationship.
Right.
The word trust has us in it. So if we are not trusting one another, then we have no relationship. So I was 2 weeks out of seeing the other doctor who's an expert in this. She goes to the emergency room. She's threatening having the baby early. So now they say, oh,
I'm
you
gonna
can't
have it.
work
Y'all
anymore.
better back up. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have this baby. So
Right?
you said threatening. Okay. I'm sorry.
Right. It's like, well, threatening in terms of like, it wasn't threatening a miscarriage,
I
but,
know.
she's going to go into labor early. And
Right.
so then they call me. I'm so looking forward to this appointment because I'm feeling comfortable with her.
Mm-hmm.
They say she has to take leave now, early. So she's not going to be able to see you.
Mm.
And she won't be able to see you to September. And it was the longest silence on the phone. And I thought, I want to be compassionate to her,
Mm.
but I'm so disappointed right now. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. So the first oncologist I went to, he says, well, we want to see you back in May. The thing is that the cancer that I do have, it's slow growing. And the thing is, though, if the body heals itself, because I believe it can, it heals itself, and let's say that you know that it's not there, that that the cancer is gone.
Mm-hmm.
They said that I have to go like every 3 months because it has a 50% chance of coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not good, you know? So where am I now? I am still waiting to figure out what next. I'm still waiting to
Right
figure
now, as
out,
we speak.
yes, I'm still waiting to figure out, well, what is the treatment going to be? But let me say this, in the midst of all of this happening, I realized that what was so important is that I needed to take a life audit of my
Mm,
life. I
mm,
needed to deny access in the areas that I needed to deny access. So how do we know what just is the sign to say, "Oh, I need to deny access?" For me, it had to be real simple for me because I was too overwhelmed. So I would look at a name, and if I didn't feel peace, if I didn't feel like connection, intimacy, then it was access denied. Some was, you know what? This person is really good when it comes to intellectually, like visions and, business and great advice where that's concerned. But they are so disconnected if I say anything emotional. I don't feel good when I speak to them from an emotional point of view. So some was denied altogether, and some was just, okay, you don't have the capacity for that, but you're really good in this area. And I did the same thing with projects. I turned a lot of projects down because when I realized it didn't give me peace, like I
mhm,
started to feel that angst and that overwhelm, then it was just access denied. It was very simple for me because it had to be that simple. I had to get everything like out of my life that did not bring me peace, that did not bring me support, that did not
mhm,
bring me just kindness, that did not make me feel seen or valued. And so I'm still in the process of that. I've done a lot of work with that, but you can even do this on social media. Certain things in social media I didn't like seeing on my timeline. So I had to just deny access because
mhm.
now this is about my life. I
Right.
am fighting for my life. So I got to do what is necessary for me so that my soul can feel on fire in a beautiful way. I had to figure out, okay, the space in my head. I had to be very careful with that in who I gave space to.
Mm,
And so if we don't deny access to the areas that we need to, we will not align with the opportunities where access granted comes into play. If I had not started that journey in the way that I've started this journey, the things that have now just literally, it's almost like it just drops in my lap. I'm not fighting for it. I'm not trying to pitch for it or anything. It's just I'm attracted to that. I align with that. And it's absolutely my assignment where I'm supposed to be in such a vulnerable, in such a very transparent time. And I just had to guard my emotional passwords. We have passwords for everything. Sometimes it's a strong password, weak password, and then you have the medium password.
mhm, mhm,
My passwords were not very strong. So my emotional password is like vulnerability, like saying yes to too many things, not saying no
mm,
enough, and saying yes to myself. So some people, I had to change my passwords. You can't have my emotional passwords.
mm,
So this is very important because remember, our passwords are important. When on the computer, like we don't want to get hacked. You know, we don't want somebody to have our password and get what? Personal information,
Right.
very secure information. It's the same thing with our lives. So that is how the book connects with my journey that I am on in real time. Like, this isn't something I'm just talking about that has happened. I'm in the midst of it, like right now.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much for, I know we didn't go over this in the pre-interview, but I just felt like, somebody needed this, and I see because they are already saying and asking questions. On the screen is the cover to the book, Access Denied, Access Granted, Setting Boundaries to Reclaim Your Power and Protect Your Purpose, Dr. Michelle Arhana. And we have just taken the liberty of dropping the Amazon link inside your comment section so that you can click and redirect right over to get your copy immediately at the conclusion of today's show. And because we don't want you to go right now, because there's still some show ahead of us, and we have a lot of things that we're going to cover still. I want to ask you this: how do you feel now, in retrospect, Dr. Michelle, about how sometimes the things that we're first of all being obedient? Because I remember when you just up and ran off to Utah. Because what I love about you, we're very similar in that way. And what I'm speaking of is being vulnerable, being transparent, and sharing our journey, not just the mountaintop views, but the valley views and the climb up or the slide down or everything in between. We're very similar that way. So if you could touch a little bit about, I know why I do it, because it's an accountability piece. That's why I do the transformation and it makes me accountable. Not that I'm not going to slip up, not that I'm not going to hurt, but allows me to not suppress things, especially when it comes to emotions of my own. I need to deal with it the way that it is meant to be dealt with for the greater good. So, how do you feel now about, you were writing something, you went there, it told you, sit that butt down, get this out, and you think it's for the world and all this stuff, but it is for you. What's it like when you find that what is coming through you is actually coming for you?
You know, it was much like I've written 8 books, but 3 of those books have literally been so spiritual. Like, you knew that that was not you. There was something so greater that was speaking through you and in concepts. It's like there's no way like I could come up with that. And so it felt, first of all, I felt relief. I was relieved.
Yeah.
And then, because I think we feel like once we write, we get it out, we feel relieved. But then I felt a bit overwhelmed. And then as I was reading my book, because remember I told you I was healing, but I read the book. You know, I kept saying, and I'm going to tell you, it's so interesting because I could hear you, even though we weren't, speaking in terms of like, just in contact on a weekly basis. But I could hear you because I kept saying, I'm going through this, so I'm going to share this with them in the book, but I don't want to release it. I don't have an ending. I don't have an ending. This is just going, I want to be able to say, now this is what happened. And I wanted the triumph to be there, right?
That
I
happy
wanted,
ending.
yes, I did. But I know that you and I had spoke about so many different times about new beginnings. And I couldn't see that. I couldn't see how could this be a beginning? I need to end this chapter, right? But then as I started to really sit with that, because I just kept hearing new beginning, it actually is a new beginning. Because I'm not even the same anymore. I'm not even the same. Like it was an ending, of one part of my life. And then my soul opened up. I was broke open. I was broke open. And then my soul opened up. So the beginning is just, I never even know what peace really means. What rest. I didn't even know how to rest. Me seeing myself in such a deep way. I had to deny access to even parts of me.
Mm. Ooh, ooh. That's
It's
powerful.
been overwhelming. I guess is that, as you can see, it's been
Yeah.
overwhelming. So I knew that this book, it is a beautiful and challenging and, oh my gosh, so many different things, chapter in my life, but that's what it is. It's a chapter. So of course there'll be another book. I already know what the name of it will be because it'll be another book, and that will be, the continuation of what really happened in this journey. Even though I don't have all the answers, and I can't say to you, I want to say, like, oh, this is the treatment. We're going to do this. And then I'm going to accomplish it and I'm going to get through it. But honestly, sometimes we're just in a place of, I don't know. I don't know what is the next, but something beautiful has happened because
Yeah.
I'm not even concentrating really on the next. I'm so in the moment of things. And I just want to say one thing that wasn't a real, it was a clarity moment. It didn't feel good, but it was clarity. And that was that a lot of people, because I help a lot of people behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put it out. I don't want to put it out. I don't even want them to put it out. I just do what I do behind the scenes because I genuinely just want to help. I thought about all the retreats I had given, and those retreats, any woman can tell you, they are absolutely spoiled and loved on. They get gifts, they get pampering, they are seen.
Yeah.
What was so hurtful is when I put out the video, just to let everyone know one time, because I only wanted to say it once, and I just decided to do it in the way that I did it. Out of all the people, you're talking like hundreds and hundreds of people, I can count on my hand, you being one of them, that actually reached out, that actually even just said, I'm praying for you. That meant a lot. I wasn't asking for anything other than praying for you, a positive message. That was hurtful. So many times I said yes, and I said no to myself, to all of those people. And I was clear. I was clear, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yes, I do. And boy, I just want to say, well, thank you for all of that, Dr. Michelle. I know it can't be easy, but I know one thing about you. Um, and I just wrote it down because right underneath life audit, write that down, you guys. That's powerful. I'm going to put that on a post-it note, and you know how I feel about those post-it notes. Life audit, something we all need to do. I got to download. It was like, I hope you understand this. You are, because she's so soft-spoken. And I will say this, I have this thing now with the Mindset Revolution, and on that page are 7 of you who coach with me. We didn't mention that, but yes, Dr. Michelle coaches with me, and your testimonials. And I always let the person who is on the fence choose who they want to watch first. And 9 out of 10 times, they start with you. I want the woman with the hat, and they go there, and then your voice is just so soft, so comforting. But then beneath all of that softness, there is the heart of a lion. I feel what I heard was she is a female version of Samson. And Samson was one of the strongest men in the Bible. And it was because of his anointing. And so, because it seems like you're just constantly battling one health thing after the next, and don't think it has missed me. I remember how hard it was during COVID. You lost a string of people, peers and stuff. And here you are, the one that everyone's looking at. Well, she's the one with all that stuff going on. How come she's still walking around? It's like some weird sense of what's that thing that people have, survivor thing? Why am I still here, kind of thing? And then it's just like it never ends. But it tells me that your message, your anointing with your message, is encapsulated, is ensconced inside of these things that scare so many other people. But you're not scared like other people. You're not. You're willing to just do what needs to be done to get to where you need to go. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. So thank you, Dr. Michelle. You guys, she has the Self Vows Retreat. You see them. They are beautiful. I have seen the footage from some, and they're absolutely beautiful. Selfvows.com. Head over there. This is Dr. Michelle's coaching program. If you're a woman who needs some healing, if you're a woman who needs to learn how to love herself, on and on and on, you need to reach out to her. And then I believe, is this your Instagram here? Michelle
Yes, both of them
okay.
are.
Okay, both of them. Okay, there you go. We've dropped most of these. We'll make sure all of them find their way into your comment section for easy access as it's time to wrap this up. And I just want to say it's always a pleasure. You know what I'm going to say now. Make sure you give your mom, my favorite lady, a big old hug and kiss. I swear, I just love her mom. She's like a Coretta Scott King, y'all. I'm not kidding you. Every time I look at her, I just go, oh. So keep going and keep growing, because the world needs you to keep showing what only you can show. Okay. So would you promise me that? You're the best. You really are. You guys reach out to Dr. Michelle, won't you please? And send light, love, and healing power. It ain't over till it's over. And remember the promise. I'll never give you more than you can handle.
Absolutely.
And just remember, you notice she said overwhelmed, but she didn't say it's too much. Because when we say too much, poof, something must disappear in our world. Because God is one thing, he's going to answer, and he's going to stay true to his promises. And he said, I'm not going to give you more than you can handle. So I want to leave you with this. When I got the download a few weeks ago, God said, should remind everyone, I do not push you into the tests because I don't believe you can conquer anything. I push you into those tests because it is to push you into the self-realization of what I already know, that it is possible for you to conquer everything. Okay, so don't forget it. Remember who you are, and it helps to understand where you're at. Okay, so Dr. Michelle, God bless you. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
She'll come back soon, not so long.
Yes,
Don't wait so long.
absolutely.
Okay, and you guys, listen, I am going to post on my page. Some of it's there, but I'm going to post it with the notes from the show, that footage from the trip to Europe, since we didn't get a chance to get to it, so that you can enjoy it as well. And friend Dr. Michelle Arhana, you won't be sorry. She's a friend to all, especially herself. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Get out of here. Find an E and an R. Take everything from what you already are. That's great to greater, bright to brighter, smart to smarter, and my personal favorite, kind to kinder. Now listen, don't let my screen door slam on the way out. And Dr. Lauren promises to meet you tomorrow morning on the front porch for our next illuminated conversation. And I tell you every day, and I absolutely mean it, I love you. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. See you tomorrow. Have a great day. Doctor, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Bye, everyone. We love you.